You going to try wing it?
Very good. We're synchronizing my claps. For the podcast listeners, that's because we're doing the video thing again.
Video thing again.
Well,
Is that what they are?
I don't want to commit to it because we're not yet in the flow and in the go of it. But it was good.
I just want to make sure I can look at the carefully crafted rundown. Okay, that took all of.
I thought we got a reasonable reaction to the video.
Yeah. When was that? Was that 599?
It was pre 600. That's for sure.
Yeah,
we've done a few different
pre
styles.
599.1.
Yeah,
so it was well before that one.
It was well before that one.
And isn't it funny how the 600th, which we're at Apple with, and various circumstances made us not able to do it in the studio.
Mean your schedule?
My schedule, and we just cobbled it together. Remember, and it actually turned out okay.
Turned out okay.
Yeah.
But as I said, once we get in the flow of this, and this is established a bit more, you'll see I've invested in a new stand for the monitor.
Wow.
And,
very impressive.
Stephen's just gone, wow.
Yeah, well, I thought that was there last time.
No, the monitor used to be sitting on that other little stand over there.
On the little trolley there.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So I'm trying to...
Yeah, that really makes it look a lot more professional, mate. That is awesome. It looks like we know what we're doing, doesn't it?
Well, so that's part of the thing here, right? I do have people do come here. I want people when they come here to go, oh, right, that's pretty good,
These blokes record video.
So and I'm also going to do some client stuff here where I do like Q&A stuff with people, as something as part of the thing I do with them, So
the thing you do with them, okay,
part of the package.
That thing you do,
all right. With EFTM.
Yeah. Okay,
it's not just banner ads. There might be a little webinar style video,
absolutely,
that kind of stuff. So I want this to be a setup that I can just turnkey.
Sure.
I've still I'm just getting there. I'm pretty close.
You've nailed the light,
but it also needs to be something I can strip down because I do every year I help Netgear with their analyst presentations, and I do a big green screen thing, and so I'm like,
you haven't got to pull down green.
Where am I going to do that?
Yeah.
I've got that's downstairs. I normally set it up around here, so I need to kind of make it so I can pull this. Anyway, inside baseball,
the green screen, awesome.
Speaking of baseball, we're in the postseason, baby.
Postseason,
and it's the worst.
I know the Yankees never made this playoffs.
Yeah, well, mate, the Dodgers have lost their first 2 games of a 5-game series.
Well, I saw the Yankees live a few weeks ago, and they were having an ordinary time of it.
Yeah, well, by now, this obviously episode goes live on a Thursday night. By now, the Dodgers hopefully have won their first game of the series against the Diamondbacks and are back in it. But they could also be at this time out of the World Series.
Well, great. Don't speak too soon.
Well, I have already.
So that's your team, eh? The Dodgers.
That's it, man. Yeah. We're all in.
Yeah,
100% all in on the Dodgers.
Yeah,
not quite as much as you're in on Souths because that would be an insult for me to say that to you because there's no way I have the history.
You have the connection that I have with
That's
Souths,
why I would never say
you
such
never
a thing.
used to play for the Dodgers.
Oh,
so just sort of saying how like it is.
That's exactly why I said I would never say such a thing.
I imagined when I went to the Yankees.
Can I tell you, if I played for the Dodgers, we wouldn't be doing this.
No, understandable. But I remember when I was in New York watching the Yankees and how often they play.
Oh,
if I was a Yankees fan, imagine if I was a bigger fan of the Yankees as I am of Souths, I wouldn't have a life.
No,
I'd be following the baseball nearly every day.
That's my problem most of the year.
That's the thing.
For 6 months of the year, that's my problem.
Wow, it's good value being a season ticket holder. You get a few games in, or is it very expensive?
Yeah, see, I looked online, and it's basically just a register your interest kind of thing. I don't think a season ticket holder just gets the same seat at every game. I think it's a little bit of a different concept for them.
Okay.
It might give you first dibs or something, but I don't think it gives you 162 games.
Because I was up on...
Well, it wouldn't be 162 because there wouldn't be home games, but yeah.
But I was up on... You've been to Yankee Stadium, haven't you?
No, I haven't. No.
Have you?
No.
I was on level 3, so there's 4 levels. So it was level 3, which is good view.
Yeah.
And the ticket was still like $80 US.
Yeah, right.
Which wasn't bad, I thought. And obviously downstairs behind the dugout, you're paying like
crazy
$500.
Money.
It's crazy. But your season ticket, if you've got a decent seat on level 3, level 4, that it'd be solid payment.
The other thing about doing this show as a video, when I realised when I was editing together the last one, which, by the way, the auto editor thing, amazing.
Yeah.
But I realised that when I pressed the button here for the intro, we're just sitting here going, there's nothing. So I need to get a video. We need to, if we're going to commit to
like
this,
a video.
I've got to get a, well, no, just a piece of vision that matches the intro duration. to run, with graphics that says Two Blokes Talking Tech.
So that's a video sting. I just said. So it's a video sting, a visual sting.
Yes.
Right.
I just wouldn't have the sting part because that's going to be here on the audio.
Understand.
But yes, you're right. Because
a visual sting.
Because
so
when
a transition.
What I'm doing is warning you that when I press this button,
don't pick my nose and stuff like that. All right? Don't be going, all right, that's great.
Pig. It was a pig.
It wasn't a pig.
It was not a pig. Also, put that. That's what's on the list. I've got to put that on the list for the private feed tomorrow.
Seinfeld. Yes, I saw that announcement as well.
So,
yes.
EVs.
Let's tune into the private.
What was your thing?
I'm reading the Elon Musk book.
EVs, Elon Musk, and Seinfeld. That's what's coming up tomorrow night in the private feed.
Private feed. Tune in, baby.
All right. Well, given that, is it worth doing this?
That's what we're here for, isn't
it? Let's do this.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Not a bad price.
With Trev Long from EFTM.com.
Really handy device.
And Stephen Fennick from techguide.com.au.
Episode 604. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, if you're watching. And thank you to Netgear and Arlo. And that's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to update this screen.
Some logos.
But I don't want it to be ugly. I want them to be part of it, So I'm very finicky about that stuff.
Where did all the writing just go then?
It just
a touch
comes and goes.
It's just a touch screen.
It comes and goes. Don't touch it. Okay. Put a fingerprint on it. See, it just comes and goes. It's back.
Oh, there it is.
Hey!
Hang on. So you're on the wrong side. That's me.
Well,
There's you,
Oh,
you put your name first, I noticed.
I knew.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Just on that, a little bit of trivia. When I was in HP,
we should have restarted it.
I was in Palo Alto for HP, right?
Yes.
And the reason they're called Hewlett-Packard, not Packard-Hewlett,
right?
Bill Hewlett won a coin toss.
Wow.
That's why they're called. Because I went to the garage where they. Do
you know why my name's first before yours?
Because it's your screen.
Because I made it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I understand. But the HP Hewlett-Packard coin toss to decide whose name went first. Imagine it being Packard-Hewlett. Wouldn't have the same ring to it, would it?
Yes, but you say that
PH,
now, but
yeah, of course.
Would it?
Yeah.
That's just because you know it.
Yeah. That's right. And funny because when we were outside the house, and it's like a historic, it's a heritage listed house, and they call it the birthplace of Silicon Valley.
Right.
And this kid comes by on a scooter in front of the house. Yeah. And he goes, "How come there's always people outside this house?"
There's no idea.
He goes, "What's going on here?" And I said, "Mate, this is where Hewlett-Packard formed the company."
And he
HP.
goes, "Who's Hewlett-Packard?"
No, he knew. He goes, "Oh, okay, well, okay." And then he just rode off on his scooter. He's me doing HP's job for him.
Went home. His mum said, while we were late, he goes, some Aussie guy.
Some Aussie dude was talking
trying to
crap
tell me about
HP.
I'm more of a Lenovo man, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember this. It's Addison Avenue, Palo Alto, 367.
Pretty sure
Addison
it's on
Avenue.
Google.
Yeah, it's there. I definitely
pretty sure it's on
definitely
Google.
There.
Anyway, we do the show thanks to the great people at Netgear and Arlo. Netgear bring you all your home Wi-Fi needs, and Arlo your home security needs, and that's who has been long-time supporters of Two Blokes Talking Tech. And we appreciate them for their support, and we'll bring you more about them shortly. So I wanted to kick it off, Stephen, because I'm off Twitter.
Gone. Wow.
Do you think I could ever do it?
I'm surprised. I thought you'd hang in there because you're a very avid Twitter user.
Yep.
And you were.
Now I'm going to show you.
You went
all
in
now.
on Twitter.
I'm going to show you how I use Twitter.
Oh,
now.
you still so hang on. You're not completely off it.
I log in,
sharing stories
1 to twice a week to just check if there's people in my notifications that don't know I've moved on. There's a guy here, and I'm like, I kind of need to tell that guy. So I'm not replying to him. I'm kind of going, is there anything urgent there, like DMs and stuff? Because you can't, because of the way Twitter changed everything about their system. There's no now back ends you can buy or even subscribe to that allow you to have autoresponders and stuff like that used to exist back in the day. So I can say I'm no longer here. I'm not going to delete my account.
Okay, so you're just off it. The house is vacant at the moment.
That's right. I'm not.
No squatters yet.
I'm not engaging. Oh mate, and the couple of times I have logged on, I've gone, no, resist the urge. A couple of regular people I might engage with, who love their Tesla.
Okay,
those kind of people, I'm trying hard not to because that'll just start me up again. So no, I'm off.
So you're off. But the reason you're not on Twitter is you're now focused more on Threads.
Yeah, because I think we've said a lot of times there's only so much you can do. There's only so many platforms you can have in your life, right? Yep. And I like the look of Threads. I like the concept of it.
Yep.
It's a different environment, so I don't mind it. I think I could build my Instagram following across to Threads. And and it doesn't matter whether you're listening at home and you've got 200 followers on Twitter or 100 or 5,000 or 10,000 like we might have, right?
Yep.
It still feels weird to be on another platform and have 1/10 of the audience, right?
Yeah.
But here's what I've done. I've done a lot of work on actual engagement and reach and use case, right?
Yep.
So I'm a bit of a nerd for numbers. I went to the trouble of spending a bit of time breaking out links so that every time we post a link on different networks, I don't do it every time, but
You
sometimes
sort of see what gives you the best return.
I check exactly what's giving me the best return.
Yep.
And Twitter is not in the top 4.
Right.
Not in the top 4.
Has it ever been?
I don't remember. Well, I've never done this level of testing.
Right.
I know exactly. I know 1.1% of my audience comes from Twitter.
Right.
Across a year.
So not in the top 4.
Not in the top.
So what's your number 1 then?
Number 1 is the EFTM app.
Right.
The push notifications there.
Yep.
Huge.
Okay.
Number 2 is now WhatsApp.
Yep.
WhatsApp
channel
channel
you got a
is,
channel? Yeah,
is
cool.
going
Yeah.
really good.
Yep.
Number 3 is Threads.
Yep.
Number 4 is Facebook.
Okay.
And number 5 is Twitter.
So WhatsApp's doing pretty well, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand it because it's this weird thing where I actually think it's kind of how social networks for individual companies should be because it's just one way. It's just like I follow the MLB there and it's just
Yeah.
great little bits of content.
So that you just dropping in
Just
like
drop
links
something
and
in,
messages.
you drop a
and-
link, every
and
now and then
people
I put
can
a
follow you.
photo,
I'm-
you know,
I've-
whatever.
I've been reminding myself to do that myself.
kind
to
of
get on
stuff.
there. Yeah.
And on some stuff the click rate is very low, but
Yeah.
on some stuff it's wild.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah, that-
depends.
that
It's also
depends,
very shareable. Think about the number of people that are using
On
WhatsApp,
yeah, true.
as a
Yeah,
messaging
right.
platform.
I find that's funny when how one platform performs with some of your stuff.
Yeah.
Like especially too on when say comparing like Instagram to TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm sure you've
Oh.
had this where you have
Yeah.
one video on TikTok goes nuts, on Instagram does nothing,
Nothing,
and
yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
Isn't that
The
funny?
only time I've had something go crazy on both was
Yep.
the LG suitcase
Yeah,
TV in
yeah.
Berlin. It went really well on
Okay.
Instagram
Ah.
as well as really well on
Well,
TikTok.
that's a unicorn there.
It was.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So on TikTok, and I love TikTok. I'm a big fan of using it.
Yep.
Remind me in a minute. I'll tell you, I got banned.
Yeah, I saw your post.
You'll love this story too.
Yeah.
So you post something, and when you get a large, and I mean really large number of views, like in
Yeah.
the millions,
Yeah.
you do see follower numbers go up.
Yeah.
But I've never had anything like that on Instagram until that reel
yeah,
went. Like I got an extra 15,000 followers on
Really?
Instagram
Wow. From that
since
one
Berlin.
LG. Yeah,
Yep.
wow. Nice.
Since Berlin. Wild.
Cool.
But see, it's not in my radar to post to Instagram Reels by
Yeah.
default because I just most of the time it's 1,000 views. I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing?
I've been trying a few Instagram story links. So
Yep.
you know how you can like take a snapshot of a product or my story. If it's a big story, like the iPhone 15 reviews,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I put that up there and I put the link to the story on. You know, you can click through to the link.
Yeah.
And they went pretty good. I saw some.
Yeah.
You saw a bit of a bump.
See a bit of
yeah,
that.
yeah. And the biggest one I did on there was, remember I wrote the story about how my affair with Tesla's over and I've gone back to my ex. That went nuts on Instagram.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, got a lot of click-throughs.
I
from
think,
that.
so, and for me, so Threads is, and so people say there's, like, if you talk to anyone who's hardcore Twitter, they'll say,
which you were.
no, yeah, but you talk to
Yeah.
anyone who's still there right
Yeah,
now, they'll
right.
say, oh, Threads is rubbish,
Well,
there's not enough
I'm
people there.
still on Twitter. I'll talk about that in a sec.
I'll
but
tell you right
yeah.
now, I reckon I get as much general conversation on Threads now as I have in the last 6 months on Twitter. Not when it was at a peak. When it was peak, it was crazy.
Yep.
But over 6 months, so I think
Okay.
I think it's pretty good now. There's definite people clicking stuff and reading stuff and saying stuff. But here's the thing, and I made this point in my article at EFTM, right? I joined Twitter in, all I know is November 2007. I haven't got an exact date.
Yep.
But I did the calculation. At most, November 1, it's 5,821 days. How many times a day do you think I tweet on average?
12 times.
16.
Wow.
95,000 tweets.
Wow.
Which I didn't think was a lot until I did
Yeah.
that number and went to
Yeah.
16 a day.
You were
but
on there a
rather-
lot, mate.
But
Yeah.
during a Formula 1 Grand Prix, I might have done 50. So, obviously
Okay,
it breaks
yeah,
down.
Yeah.
But-
and then you were commenting on various things and,
Yeah, I'd have
and
some
arguing
comments.
with people.
Yeah, have some arguments.
So this is time you'll never get back, mate. Do you realise that?
I don't care.
I
Whatever.
find Threads I've now adopted into my workflow.
Yes.
I haven't quit Twitter.
Right.
I still just post stories there.
Yep.
I don't really, mate. It unless it's something really big, will I engage in something? Because at the moment, Twitter to me feels like all this crap that's happening with Palestine and
Yep.
Israel. And I reckon you're on a hiding to nothing
Don't get
commenting
involved.
about it. I'm thinking I read stuff and look
Yeah.
at stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't want to comment on anything because no matter what you say, someone's going to disagree with it.
It'd be like chiming in about The Voice right now.
Yeah.
Days out from the referendum. I'm not.
So
you know, that's going to be
I'm
that's going to be
staying
a
out of
nightmare
it.
on Twitter.
But now that I've seen my workflow, so when I publish my stories, it goes to to Facebook, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, Instagram.
I respect
Instagram
your
stories.
ability to have a workflow. I struggle to just remember to do certain things.
There's simple tabs on my browser though. Now that Threads is on the browser, that's made it a lot easier for me to share. So that's
well,
huge.
I use a third-party system to post once to everything, right?
Yep.
When Threads is incorporated there, game changer.
You still using that? What's that? Hootsuite? What do you use?
Hootsuite,
yeah.
Yep.
And you pay, what's that? You pay per month for that one?
Yeah, it must be a monthly or
bucks.
annual fee.
Yeah, okay, nice.
It can't be too much.
Hootsuite, you like that one?
Yeah, it's excellent.
And it goes to everywhere all at once. That's what I should do.
And look, Jolly, full disclosure, Jolly does the social. He just sees new links and when he has time, he posts them, comes up with something witty to say, all that kind of stuff. And that was, again, I just took that out of my workflow. But over the last couple of weeks, I've said to Jolly, I'd say, Matt, I'll do this 3 articles because I'll spend the time building individual links that I can track and all this kind of stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, where were we?
So well, let me ask you, will you ever go back
to Twitter?
Yeah.
No.
Or X, what it's called now?
I refuse to call it X, by the way, if you haven't worked that out. I just think it's a stupid name.
So is it just you're just tired of it, or what made you decide that you're out?
Elon.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mate, the bloke is a loose cannon. Yeah. He's a loose unit.
Well, I'm reading his book now.
I can't wait to talk about it in the private feed.
Yeah.
I just don't have a great amount of respect for him.
Okay.
And I think some of the things he does is just weird.
So is it what he does or what he says or both? Like some of his decisions, like charging people, taking off the blue ticks.
Yeah. You've reminded me that was the thing that triggered me. He goes, "We're going to charge everyone." I'm like, mate, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be the data. I'm happy to be the commodity. We've talked about that,
you're
right?
the product, of course.
But I'm not happy to pay. So that's not going to happen, right?
Okay.
I just went, if that's going to come, I need to be ready for it. And so I think the platform is still great. I still think Twitter's a great platform, but the uncertainty of where it goes next means I don't want to end up in the same situation we were in 2021 with Facebook, where we go, oh, the rug's been pulled from it. So why put all the effort in when the rug's just going to get pulled? Plus, and this was a point I tried to make in my article this week, was that you got 19,000, 10,000 followers, whatever it is. They're just numbers. Yeah. Let's just go and look. I had a look at someone we both know that I often engage with, lives in regional New South Wales. And reasonably big following. But you look at the number of people reading it, because the tweet analytics are clear now. Yeah. There's like 700 people reading that tweet. Yeah. You think you're talking to 40,000 people, but you're actually talking to 200 or 700.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So
there's 50,000 people can't see your tweet all at once.
There's this false sense of importance we all get from having a large number of things, right? Okay. And the same thing happens on TikTok. You talk to we spend time with people who've got 1 million followers or 600,000 followers on TikTok, but then you go to their page and you go, but that video only got 20,000 views. Yeah. In the same way that I can put up a video and it gets 1,000.
It's hits and misses, isn't it?
Right?
Hit or miss.
But here's the thing, and hand on heart, I genuinely believe this about the way we build audiences, right? Yeah. Which is, I don't do the viral thing to build an audience. Yeah. I do what I do, and I think you do what you do. And I believe we have a more engaged audience for that reason. For sure. So I look at my TikTok and I go, there's some misses there, but I think my average is still better than some of the people with 2 million followers. Sure. Yeah. Because you build them in kind of the wrong way. So
with do you still share stories, EFTM stories on Twitter, on X or Twitter?
Yeah. So Hootsuite is still set up to share directly to EFTM. Right. If I think
not your personal account.
So there's been a couple of occasions, no, because you can't. There's a thing about Hootsuite and Twitter. You can't post two at the same time. Very annoying. So
retweet.
Yes, but that requires me to go there.
Repost. Sorry.
That requires me to go there. And so I've gone, I'm not going to repost everything because that requires me to go there. Okay. But what I've done is, there have been a couple you might have noticed that I've retweeted, reshared, because I was testing how big. Like if I say Threads is bigger than Twitter, I need to be real, and I need to put it on my Twitter account as well. Yeah, so I need to be real about that.
Is it?
No.
What's the numbers on Threads now? What's the latest thread count?
Oh, what do you mean in terms of reach?
Followers, users of Threads. Yeah.
Oh no, that's the thing. They haven't published a number for a long time, and they stopped giving people numbers at 100 million.
Oh.
I don't think
so that means they're over 100 million then.
Yeah, that was early. That was like in the first few weeks.
And it doesn't seem
but it
to
hasn't gone to 200 million, I don't think.
Right. Do you reckon it's sort of plateaued a little bit maybe?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So interesting. Then let me give you the story quickly about TikTok right now. Okay. For kids in the car.
Being banned?
For kids in the car, For kids in the lounge room on YouTube.
Block your ears, kids.
Uncle Trev is going to say a naughty word. Same word that Ray Martin said recently, so it mustn't be that naughty. Spoiler alert. So I get this notification that I've lost the screenshot. How annoying! I was going to show you. I've been banned.
You went against community guidelines or something, or what does it say?
Yeah, it was full on. Here it is.
Were you nude or something?
I opened up Twitter one morning and I go, your account was permanently banned.
Twitter?
TikTok, sorry, TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, all right.
It says your account was permanently banned. Your account was permanently banned because of multiple policy violations. What? Feedback, view details, download your data. I'm like, oh my God. So I've gone view details and there was a page that said you can... down the bottom, it said, have we made a mistake? Submit an appeal. I click that, and it just goes, something went wrong. Please try again. Like, it was an
the
endless
appeal
loop.
went wrong. Oh,
no, I couldn't even write my email address. It would just fail.
Yeah.
And then it just kicked me out. It just said, sign up. Like, my account was gone.
Were you panicking at this point?
I was in a bit of a panic.
Because you got how many followers you got now on there?
80,000 or something.
Yeah.
But I'd done the video on, it was the iPhone video. You know, where I went, there's 5 things about the iPhone. It was a little bit clickbaity.
Yeah.
I was just trying to say, can we all just calm down about this bending a phone
Yeah,
rubbish, right?
I read that's it. Yeah.
So then I thought, okay, what's
breaking
happening here?
news? You can break an iPhone. Is that the one?
Exactly. That was the one.
Is that because you were inciting violence? Is that why the ban was, mate?
So I'm lucky because I know it happens to a lot of people and they don't get any. But I had a contact at TikTok.
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m. Sorry, excuse me. I remember it was school holidays because I was in Harry's room. Harry and I bunk buddies during school holidays. I sleep in his room, right?
You're in the doghouse, were you, mate?
No, Harry loves it when we share a room, you know?
Yeah, cool.
So I'm lying on his floor on a trundle bed. It's 4 a.m. and I look at my phone because, I'm awake. And I go, oh, my God, I've been booted off Twitter. TikTok. So I text my contact and I go, sorry for the early message, but yada, yada, yada. Now, she says, I'm actually in Paris because she responds. I'm like, oh, my God, I hope I didn't wake you up. She goes, I'm in Paris. I went, this has happened. Is there anything you can do to look into it? She goes, I'll look into it for you. Maybe a day later, no more than a day, my account just started working again.
Right.
And then I went in and then I could look at why my content had been removed. And it says it violates community guidelines. And there's 5 of them.
5 videos?
5 comments
that
I made
Oh.
that all got flagged. So basically, this is my comment. Good one, dickhead. Maybe pay attention to the whole video. The next one is get some more tinfoil, wanker. The next one, I called him an effing dickhead. That's a bit of a stretch. I get that.
Oopsie. Naughty.
Oh, and there was one that said, paid Apple shill. And I went, where's my cash then? And I said, pee off, dickhead. Right?
See, it's you engaging, mate. You engage. Is that?
And then
didn't you see what happened on Twitter? Come on.
And the last one was you're both dickheads. That we all know for sure from this exchange.
Oh, my
So
God.
obviously I've incited these idiots.
You've learned
to hit
nothing.
Report.
Yeah.
And they've all reported it, the content. And it is. Like, it breaches the community guidelines, right?
But on the basis of them reporting you?
Yes. Because someone's
you've sworn at them.
Yes. Because I've called them
I
a
remember
name.
that happened to me on Twitter. And I called someone. We had a bit of an argument. I was taking your medicine back then and engaging with these idiots, right? And it was the argument sort of got to the point where I called him an F and C, and then I got a notification from Twitter saying, "Oh, you've been suspended for 4 days or something." I went, "Oh, I think we were in New York. Remember, we're at Samsung."
Yeah.
And I remember I showed you, and you went, "What happened here?" Remember?
Yeah.
And I showed you the conversation. Went, "Oh, well, there you go." And
Fair call.
So
So my account just reappears the next morning, and I text my contact.
And it's all the same. Nothing's changed. Like all your content's still there.
All good.
Your followers
so
are all
there. So I
there.
sent a screenshot to my contact and said, thank you. She wrote back, the team have got you back online. Apparently the language you're using looks like listen.
Yeah.
The language you're using looks like it could border on breaching our community guidelines. I'm not sure what was said, but it could be in your comment replies. Now that to me says she knows exactly what I said and she knows exactly what happened.
Definitely.
So I wrote back, yes, apparently when someone calls me a paid shill or abuses me, I can't call them a dickhead. Noted.
Yes.
And I said this.
And an effing dickhead, you can't call them either. Yeah.
And this is very important, right?
Yeah.
This is a really important message. I said directly to this person who's like a comms manager at TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Respect
from
for
Australia.
Yes. Respect for the platform. To be honest, to be that strict.
We can pick it up.
I just got to control my emotions. I've always had the policy of you get what you give. I don't like people getting away with being assholes online.
Yeah.
And so I give it back. Just got to be more subtle and use reverse psychology in the future.
Yeah, smarter.
So I want to be clear. Yeah. I have no problem with them banning me.
Yeah.
Because I think it was the right decision.
Yep.
I I hope it's not hard for other people to get their accounts back if it happens to them, because it probably is.
It probably is
But-
very hard. Yeah.
She wrote back, I totally get that. Feel free to report tickets to us. We'll look into them directly. But the thing is, you can't report someone for calling you a paid shill. Like, that's not a...
mate.
Like,
but that
that's-
should be, that's
So-
people throw that crap around with us. Not often, but
Yeah, I know,
sometimes.
but we get it.
And like, mate, you get it. You write a review or a report and she goes, so it reads like a paid advertisement. You think, okay, mate, get a life. Like, my reply, what worked well for me on Twitter?
What?
And if they're having a rant and and I said, mate, that's great. Have another drink. That's what I used to say. Go have another drink.
Yeah.
In other words, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was without using swear words. That was sort of using.
That was my learning. Is I'm just going to come up with some witty replies.
Yeah, just laugh at them. Just put ha
that
ha.
make
That's
that
great.
make it very clear that I'm taking the mickey out of them, and I don't care about the comment.
Tell you who's a genius replying to comments on Twitter. Do you know that singer James Blunt?
Yeah.
That's genius stuff there.
Yeah.
And that's what you should do. You should be sort of having that sort of tact rather than just going in hardcore with a swear word.
Fair
Have
call.
the tact and because look but again, why engage? What's to gain?
The one of the
I
things,
know you want to defend your honour and all that, right?
But one of the things that TikTok say about building audience and building engagement is
commenting.
engaged.
Okay,
Because I remember reading something they said
engagement without so many swear words.
Yeah,
okay.
I remember reading something about, it was just like a video of tips and things, and it was like reply to comments, and then it said, but don't reply to them all in one go, because it kind of doesn't make it look like you're there for the long haul. It looks like you just logged on at one time and went. Pfft.
Yeah. Right.
So I enjoy it.
Trevor reads the comments.
Oh yeah, and I read them all.
Trevor reads the comments.
But I did implement. Let me be clear. I implemented, because there's content guidelines, things you can implement. I implemented some content filters on my feed now. So you try and call me a shill, it won't work.
Right.
It'll just go into the ether.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you can control that.
Yep.
But can you also delete comments off your posts? Why don't you just delete the comments?
Because they never know. I want them to know I read it, and
I've sometimes on my Tech Guide Facebook page. I don't ban anyone.
Oh, I do.
I hide their comment or delete the comment. Like,
yeah.
If someone says something like, there was some smart ass that was commenting, I'd written about an EV or something. He goes, and this same idiot would always comment, wait till it catches fire. He was always commenting the same thing, and I just hid his comment. I didn't ban him. I just hit his comment every time.
I would ban that person in an instant.
Although someone else chimed in and sort of said, mate, you reckon an EV's more dangerous than a car with flammable liquid on board, big tank of flammable liquid?
Whole other argument.
Yeah. So anyway,
so that's been my week
mate,
and a half on
as
social media.
Ricky Gervais says, should have left it.
Should have left
it, but I didn't. But then,
sometimes
I know.
Mate, you know what? I get great joy out of it.
Yeah.
Because they think, this is the thing. And
they
again,
think
this
you're not
sounds
reading
egotistical,
it.
but they don't think that I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm reading it.
Yeah.
But I think it's also a thing about, so to be clear, I sat my kids down. We didn't sit down to do it, but we talked about why I got it back. And I said, because I used these words openly, I told them what I did.
Yeah.
And I said, it's kind of an example of what you shouldn't do, and I'm an example of what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But also, let me be clear, it's an example of why you shouldn't make that comment in the first place. Because I felt hurt by that comment, and I responded
but don't you
wrongly,
reckon,
right? But what you've got to be careful is you don't say that to someone because you might hurt them, right? The comment in the first place shouldn't be made.
To you or the one back? Well,
both.
You got to remember that, mate.
Both is critical.
Can I just suggest something to you? They're saying it to get a reaction.
Yeah,
and you gave it to them.
Sometimes.
They've thinking mission accomplished. I got a reaction out of this bloke.
Yeah.
When I read the same thing that you read, right, and I get the same crap on my thing, I'm just thinking, yeah, good on you, mate. That's your opinion, and I ignore it, thinking that this idiot hasn't got to me.
I look at it like a James Blunt tone of voice thing, right?
Yeah.
And this is a learning. I've now got to change the tone of voice I've accomplished.
Fair enough.
But you go to the Walker Road Hotel Google page, right?
Yeah.
The Google reviews for my mum's pub, not all great.
Ooh.
Yeah, some of them are 1 star.
Really?
The woman behind the counter is, whatever. And so I reply as the Walker Road Hotel. Glad you got to meet the boss. Then I embrace it
Make
because
it sort of a bit funny.
I can't pretend my mum's the nicest person every day of the week. She has some bad days. That's true. Right.
Yeah,
so I embrace it. That's the tone of voice we use.
Yeah, right.
I don't call people names at all. Let me be clear.
Of course not.
So it's about and any social media manager in a big company knows when you first join, you've got to create a tone of voice. Are you having fun? It's like Ryanair.
Yeah.
on Twitter. Have you seen them?
No.
I think it's
The
Twitter.
airline. They're
Might
the
be
airline.
Yeah, they absolutely hammer people.
Really?
Just Mickey, not
Oh,
swear
right.
words, but
Yeah.
they embarrass. Like
I
it's just
think I've
hilarious.
seen a few of them actually. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's their tone of voice. Is
smart.
we're going to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
fun with this. We're going to
Yeah.
be the fun airline. So yeah,
Why not? Why not? But
Anyway.
again, you show them that they've gotten to you. You showing them that, and that's what
Yeah.
they wanted, mate. They want to get a reaction out of you, and they
Yeah.
did it. They
But
got it. You know?
what I'm saying
and it nearly
is,
cost you your account.
what I'm saying is, I'm thick-skinned enough that I can take all those comments. What I worry about is that same person saying something to someone who can't handle it, and who knows what distress it causes them. So that's what everyone
I hear ya.
needs to learn.
Have you? Let me ask you this question: then. Has that ever, have you ever been a comment? I know you got a pretty thick skin. But
No,
has there been a
nothing's ever
comment
got
that's
to me.
upset you?
No.
I have. I've had stuff. Said
I
to
don't
me that
remember
upset
one
me.
anyway.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
comes to mind.
Yeah, I had stuff said to me, about my family, and that have upset me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you bastard, you know.
Yeah.
But didn't give him the satisfaction to show him that it had bothered me. You know.
Yeah, and look,
I didn't give him that because that's what they want.
No.
They want a reaction.
I want to
Yeah.
be clear. I don't pretend to be an angel, in
I know,
any way,
I know.
shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, but I only ever give back.
Give as good as you get.
That's
Yeah.
always
but
been my
But
policy.
again, mission accomplished for that commenter, mate.
Yeah, well,
They're thinking, oh, how good's that? You got your
but
reply to me.
they've got to learn too.
Yeah, I know.
That's my point.
It's a two-way street, but you've got to be the bigger man, mate. You've got to be the bigger man, you know? Take the high road, as they say.
Anyway, so mate, what I'm
Mate,
saying to you is get into
Don't,
threads.
the moral of the story is, boys and girls, don't poke the bear. There's the bear. Don't poke the bear because you might get the claws, you might get the teeth.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Well, lots of products that I've seen. I was in Palo Alto with HP, as I mentioned earlier,
Yep.
and I've also looked at a product on Tech Guide. I think you're about to look at it, the Logitech Casa pop-up
Oh, it's been
desk.
sitting here for a long time.
There it is, on top of the
Yeah,
pile.
yeah.
Now,
The Logitech, it's at the top of the pile.
yes, I got an email this week actually, and check Tech Guide. It's up there now. The motivation behind all these products, so HP's especially, and I mentioned this on the Tech Guide podcast, so go listen to that if you want a sort of more thorough look at it. the motivation, sort of the theme of their show, their event last week was all about how much we've changed. We've changed the way we work, where we work, how productive we are. And that's kind of obviously a result of COVID. People working from home and coming back, sort of hybrid working.
Yep.
And there are so many products now that reflect that very nature that you can use these wherever you want. If you wanted to, the products from HP was the Spectre foldable PC, which is similar to the Asus product, but way slicker. The HP one, really slick. And they've got a desktop computer that's
Mate,
like
the
an
desktop
all-in-one.
computer with a handle is sick.
Yeah, that's really
with the keyboard
cool.
on the back and walk away.
Mate,
Hello,
that's really
is that battery
cool.
powered?
But 4-hour battery,
So,
you can plug it into, and the Logitech. So if you got the laptop, and you would need to set up, you pop open the Casa pop up. It looks like a fat iPad.
We should have remembered that we're doing video now, and I could have
Why
actually
don't you
brought
get
it
it
out.
out?
No, it's not doing it now.
Well, there's pictures on Tech Guide already,
Of course,
and soon to be on
techguide.com.au.
EFTM.
Maybe a couple of weeks.
It's like it looks like a fat iPad case.
Yeah.
And you open it up, and there's a keyboard, the trackpad, a little thing for the cable, and you take the keyboard and the trackpad out, and then the case itself, then you fold it forward into a slot, and you put your laptop in it, and it puts the screen up at eye level, and you're good to go. You can then Bluetooth the keyboard and the trackpad, and bang, you're working on a desktop.
It's funny because it's a product of COVID.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Work from home, and then they've realised that because post-COVID work from home is still a thing, but also now hybrid working is a massive thing. That's a big thing for HP.
Yep.
They've been talking about that for a little while now. The idea that people are still able to go to the cafe.
Yeah.
The idea that people now might just take their computer and go to the other side of the office, let alone to the other side of the street.
Or they're on the move. They're stopping off for an hour, and they've got they're charging their EV or something, and they need to work. Or you're at Channel 9 between segments, and you're doing your best. So
I might take it tomorrow with me. That's a great idea.
There you go. So it's really now, and as I've always said, like work's a thing you do, not a place you go.
Yeah.
That's sort of the theme of these products, is that you can still be productive, but still have high quality computer with you.
Yes.
Like the Spectre foldable PC, it's going to cost a bomb. It's like $5,000 US.
That's
They've
wild.
confirmed it's coming to Australia, so
Really?
hopefully before the end of the
They'll
year.
bet Harvey Norman.
It'll be about $8,000. It'll be like really expensive, but 17-inch
Why would you use
OLED.
it?
Well,
So
it's a 3-motor,
it's
right?
this
so,
much. You're saying it's this much screen, or is it this
No,
much?
when you open it up, it's got a 12-inch display.
Yeah.
And then, but the keyboard attaches magnetically.
Right, no. But how much of the bottom part is screen?
All of it. So,
Yeah, so
it's,
the whole
it's 17 inches unfolded. So as you open it, it's
Right.
got just the keyboard attached magnetically and charges magnetically.
And so you can use it as a laptop
Yeah.
with a keyboard there, or you can make that the whole
or
screen.
second thing is you can pull the keyboard towards yourself and give yourself more screen space.
Yes.
So say you're on a Zoom call and you need to see your emails or your calendar, you can do that.
Yeah.
Or you
Yep.
can take the keyboard away completely, fold it flat and use it as a big tablet.
Yep.
Or put the kickstand out and set it up on the desk and then pull your keyboard back and then you've got a desktop computer.
Yeah.
So, mate, really cool, really slick. And if you got room, say you want to sit at a cafe for an hour, you need to sort of have your screen real estate, you've got a 17-inch screen there.
That's a legit hybrid device.
Oh, yeah. But even the one that you mentioned before, the Envy Move, that desktop with the handle, now that's an all-in-one computer. The keyboard and trackpad, 4-hour battery. So you might want to take it. You might want to. You got a little office area. You might think, I've got to do a bit of work. Or hang on, let's just take it in the lounge room. Let's stream all in the bedroom. Let's stream some Netflix before we go to bed. Or you want to take it out in the other room and do a workout or something. So it's got the portability of a laptop, but the power and size of a desktop.
Yeah.
So it's really smart how they've done it. Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit later about another device that's great for the outside worker as well. So we'll get to the Espresso 17 Pro shortly. But
absolutely. Yeah.
I was pretty impressed by some of those products that HP came out with.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest,
good.
the Move,
Yeah,
that's wild.
That's good. Yeah, no, they didn't name a price for that one, but I'd say that'd probably be 2.5 here, maybe 2.
So here's an example of where the Move comes in, I reckon.
Yep.
So Amanda's got a desk it's in the nook in the lounge room, right? It's like a bay window.
Yep.
So that's her desk. And she's currently got a Samsung smart monitor there so she can watch Netflix and stuff, but it's also where her laptop connects and everything, right? And imagine we put the HP Move there, right? So it's plugged into power. But then it's homework time for one of the kids. Amanda's making dinner. You don't want them on a computer in their bedroom, so you pick up the Move, you put it on the dining table, and you go, mate, do your homework here. I can help you with it.
And the battery runs for 4 hours.
Often you need to be with your kids to help them with that. It's not because you don't trust them on a computer. It's because they actually need your help.
Yeah.
And so you're making dinner, and you're like, but don't do this, and we can can I read what you've done now? And it's a brilliant use for it.
See who tried to have that sort of feel? Remember when Apple redid their iMacs with all the different colours?
With the handle.
No, there's no handle on it.
Oh, yeah, the current ones.
Do you remember the current iMacs with the all the different colours?
What do you mean by try? Do you think they tried to make it something you would take somewhere else?
Because of all the colours and how thin they were and how nice they looked.
What's happened to that product?
Yeah, it's still there.
No, but it hasn't had an update.
No, not yet. It's
There's
still
no
M1. Yeah. I bought a couple for my use at home. I bought for my video studio at home. I use that, but. And you know how they come in all different colours. The reason they come in all different colours is it doesn't look out of place in the kitchen, in the bedroom. You know, so they tried to sort of give you that, but they wouldn't give you one that you can just. They want you to buy more than one if you're going to use it in multiple rooms.
I guess, yeah.
But that's as close as I've seen as an all-in-one desktop computer trying to give you that feel that you can put it anywhere. But with the Move, you can literally put it in. It's called the Move, so you can literally put it anywhere. And you know what's good about it? I did a little Instagram story. I don't know whether you saw it, but there was a when you take it. Lift it up off the table, the legs fold in,
up.
And then as soon as you put it back on the desk, they flip out again.
How does it know
really, because there's a little button on the bottom. So if once it's pushed in when it's on its surface, it pops the legs out. Once the button's released, when you lift it up, it folds it again.
That's very
it's
nice.
like the light on in the fridge, mate. You know when you shut the door, the light turns off?
No, it stays on all the time.
No, it doesn't. Very clever from HP.
Very nice, very nice. All right, all the details of that are in the Tech Guide podcast in great detail and also at techguide.com.au.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Two Blokes Talking Tech, proudly supported by our good friends at Arlo, and they've just released the Essentials 2nd generation.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular, you know what, the outdoor camera, I've got to say, if that is not one of the most bang for your buck products, and for you to get into, like if there's a lot of customers who haven't bought a security camera, So I think the Essential Gen 2, which is, what is it, a 159?
159.
And this is a wireless
Brand
security
new.
camera, 2K video quality, 130-degree field of view.
Yeah.
A perfect place to
I've
start.
been saying on air on a lot of radio spots talking about this range this week. It's very rare we get to say there's a new product, new generation with new features, which is better, so better quality, better design, cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
On its own, that's wild.
Yep.
But then the fact that it's 2K resolution, 130-degree angle, it's a really nice-looking unit.
Yep.
I actually think it's probably a slightly better look than the standard
it does look a
Pros
bit-
and Ultras and stuff
Yeah,
as well.
I agree,
I think they'll probably
Really
go that way
nice.
with the whole range maybe down
Absolutely
the track. But
right.
it's a nice-looking unit.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is not just the price, but the pairing.
Yeah.
It pairs so
We've
easily
got
now.
Bluetooth on board now, so it makes it simpler.
I haven't done the outdoor yet, but I did the doorbell.
Yep.
And, man, it was slick.
Yeah.
The pairing process was so much faster.
Yeah.
Just direct
That's
onto
the idea
Bluetooth
too.
and then direct onto your home
Because
Wi-Fi
that was
network.
like Arlo are really focused on making these things easy to set up. Because if it's too hard, a customer could take it back.
That's
They could
right.
think this is too hard.
And that's not that's
So
that's just
That's
simply,
not out of the realms of possibility. So
Yeah.
it's easy setup, and making something easy to install is hard. That takes a lot of work, and
Yeah.
that's what they've achieved here with the Essential Outdoor Camera. It's $159, and if you haven't got a security camera yet, and you're thinking of getting one, make it the Arlo Essential Outdoor Camera 2. If you want to know more, arlo.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Nice. So you're a conductor now, eh? What was I doing? So you deliberately doing things during the stings.
I was making you look like a boring human.
I'm just sitting here quietly, mate.
You're just
during
a
the
boring
stings.
old
I'm just
man.
regathering my thoughts, and you're sort of doing the wiggles movements.
Wiggles. Toot, toot, chug a bit.
Were your kids into the wiggles? Did they like the wiggles?
Jackson, massive.
Yeah.
But we moved away from the wiggles. I think because Jackson got older, we moved to different stuff with him, and that was
Right.
still okay for the littlies to watch. So
Yeah.
we
Right.
kind of skipped. We
My kids
were
were right
OG
into the
wiggles,
Wiggles.
though. We never got the new guys.
Oh, okay, we were OGs. We
Yeah.
were VHS wiggles, not not DVD
We were
wiggles.
DVD
That's how
wiggles.
old my kids
We
are.
weren't streaming wiggles. We're DVD wiggles.
Oh, okay, because
Yeah.
I had
Your VHS on DVD.
I actually on the if you look back in the archives, I interviewed Anthony Field on the Tech Guide podcast, and it was a funny interview. He goes, mate, I don't know what I'm going to talk to you about tech about. I said, well, I'm going to ask you about how your relationship. And he said one of the things that they had to make a big decision on was going from VHS to this new DVD technology. They thought, we're making millions out of these VHS tapes. What do we do? And then, of course, they ended up going to DVD.
They're doing very well.
Very, very well.
Anyway, I don't know how we got onto that.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the
you
Arlo,
and your wiggles movements.
the
mate.
Arlo outdoor camera. Let's
Yeah.
stay in the outdoors, though, and let's
Yes.
talk about robot lawnmowers. And you know,
Yes.
it's been 3 years since we installed Edward, the Edward Scissorhands, obviously. Great name. I love naming
Has
my
he been
robots.
demoted now? Well,
Look,
is he in the shed now, Edward? Has
the
Edward been
first,
put out to
the first,
pasture?
the
Get it?
first photo, yeah, I got it. The first photo in my review shows poor Edward just parked up.
in the background.
Edward's in party mode.
Party
So the
mode.
Works Landroid, which is the one I've had for 3
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
$16.99 odd dollars at Harvey Norman, right? It has a party mode. So you put it in party mode when you got people around. You don't want him to go out and randomly mow the lawns, right?
Right.
So you put it in party mode. Edward's in party
Still in
mode
party
and
mode.
has been now for
It's
3 or
ironic
4
that
months,
party
yeah.
mode means he just sits still and does nothing.
Yeah.
That's not really a party, is it?
He doesn't know yet that he's about to be retired.
Right. Put
I
out to
feel bad
pasture.
because Edward's done well for us,
He's
right?
cut his last lawn.
But if you go back 3 years, the process, I did a commercial video with Works because I was not keen to do a robot mower because I thought it was too hard to set up, and they said that's exactly what we're going to do a video on. We want you to do a video because we think everyone thinks that. I went, okay,
Right.
fine, let's do it.
Yeah.
So
And it was.
It was no.
I had this for a period,
Yeah,
and
but
it was tough didn't work out very well
I
for
had
me.
no issues getting it going. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's a 2 or 3 hour job to run the cable around your yard.
And you got to hammer the stakes in and keep it
You
in
lay
the
the cable out, you hammer
Lay
a
the
stake every
cable,
80 centimetres, and you've got to measure it out so that because the Landroid would go right to the edge, so to cut to the edge was a good
Yeah,
feature of it.
yeah.
But over the years, now let's be clear, a lot of people ask about robot mowers. They don't pick up the mulch. It mulches. It just
Yes,
leaves
that's
the
right.
clippings, right?
There's no catch.
There's
on
no
the back.
catcher.
Yeah.
And so over 3 years, it's obviously mulched. And so my grass is a lot more thatched than it was back then. So it's deeper, and you can feel it's squishier in
Right.
places.
But that's because it's mulched it back in. That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it just creates depth though away from the soil. Now, a true lawn person even with a robot mower, would mow their lawn, scalp their lawn quite low once or twice a year, and then let the robot do it. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not doing it.
You're not.
No, because I don't care that much.
Not even with the goat.
No. So,
Okay.
but let me tell you where Edward went wrong over the last year or so.
Okay.
Because of the thickness of the thatching, Edward would get stuck. Like Edward had these big wheels that would turn, and so it would dig holes. There are literally patches of grass that are missing because Edward
Really?
would get stuck there trying to drive and get out.
Bloody Edward.
So I was very nervous about bringing a new robot lawnmower into our lives.
Right.
So to the point where I put the base for the new Ecovacs Goat G1. I put the base in not even a spot where you would put it normally, just kind of in the middle, cable running over a pathway, right?
Really?
I thought I'll just give it a crack for a week or two, see how it goes.
Yep.
Mate, it's been unbelievable ever since.
Yeah.
Hasn't stopped once, hasn't got stuck once.
Good.
And the best thing about it is you set up the base, you pair your phone, and then you remote control it.
Oh, that's cool. I
You
love doing
remote
that.
control
Yeah.
the lawnmower around the edge of your yard.
Yeah.
You put these two beacons.
That establishes the perimeter, doesn't
Two
it?
beacons sit in your yard, so
Yeah.
it's communicating with them somehow
Yeah.
using some radio frequency, and you drive it around, and that establishes the boundary. But it gets even better. Once it's done that, it mows in a pattern.
Yeah.
Like a good robot
Back and forth.
vacuum,
Yeah.
goes up and down, up and down. I can see the
I,
lines on my grass.
I set this up at my parents' house, my parents' backyard. And they got like an average size yard. I did a review and a video. You can see it. And I found that that remote controlling part was really fun around sort of going around the edges.
Yep.
But it was also the beacons too. I love the app, how it had examples. Does your yard look like this or this? And I went, oh, yeah, mine's a bit of an L shape. And I used that. Okay, I place a beacon here, beacon there, and boom.
Well, let me tell you, there's a part of my lawn that's not been done by the goat because it is around the side of the house. And I found that when I did the full map, I did get a problem with the mapping. So I went, okay, let's just do the beacons one end of the yard to the other. And when summer comes, I'm going to need it. I'll get another beacon because you can get extra beacons, right?
You only get two in the box.
So I'll remap it with the extra beacon when that comes. But, it does everything else that I would expect from a robot mower. It does a schedule. You can send it out manually or automatically.
Yep.
It clips in the middle of the unit instead of the side, which is different for me because Edward would clip right to the edge.
To the edge, yes.
But
so how far in? It was like a fair bit in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it feels like 5 centimetres in.
So that's the thing with the lawn. You still got to use the whippersnipper.
But I still need to use the whippersnipper with Edward.
You still got a whippersnipper.
Any robot mower, unless you've got the absolute perfect yard, which basically would be
square
would
and
be
flat.
It would be grass buffed up to a path or a driveway. That is the same level, because then what you can do is you can drive it kind of
Right to
one
the
arm
edge.
over,
Correct.
one wheel over.
Where the yard of my parents' place there's like an edge. It's like a little wall.
Yes.
So it can't
can't
physically
go
go to the
But
edge.
mate, whippersnippering around the edges of your lawn is a 10-minute job,
seconds.
right?
Yeah, it's
so
really easy.
I have no problem doing that, and it's been awesome.
Do you want to understand why I chose my parents' house and not my house?
Dog poo?
Yeah. That's correct, Trev. I know this can detect obstacles, and I in my video
Depends how much they had to eat.
I bunched up a hose, so I rolled the hose. I didn't want to test it with dog poo. I had the hose sort of about 6 centimeters high, and it went, ooh, not going there, and I went.
I used a gas bottle, put it in the middle of the lawn, and just went.
It's going to hit that.
Well, no, but Edward would just bump into it. Edward doesn't see anything.
No, well, this got
thing
the cameras,
sees it and drives around.
It's got 130 to 150 degree camera field of view. Used a bit of GPS as well. The beacons.
There's a 360 camera on the top.
Is it? I thought it was 150. Anyway, it got. If the hose is high enough, it'll detect it. If there's like a ball or a toy, it'll usually see it.
Maybe it's not 360. You're right.
Yeah.
Go on.
But if the hose is flat, so the flat hose on the grass is only about like a centimeter off the thing. Danger.
You bought a new hose for your
It'll
parents?
go, because what had happened, right? Full disclosure, when I had the hose set up, it was there, but when I put it up, there's like another elevated little barbecue area where I left the hose. So my mother has taken the hose and chucked it back on the grass to sweep up there, and she didn't put the hose back, and it's just totally shredded the hose.
Can you call that mob that I advertise on
Aussie hoses?
GB, Aussie hoses?
I'm going to order 2 hoses off you.
Yeah, you get the
Aussie
whole reel thing.
That's what I'm going to do, mate. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to shout them a couple of new hoses. But I did say in my review that if it is, because mate, if it's flat, okay, I think it said 3 centimeters and higher. So if it's completely flat, if you got your hose laid out, you haven't rolled it up, then this is going to go straight over the top of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, mate,
dog poo, I didn't check.
And by the way, with the pattern, you can choose the angle.
Yeah.
So after a week of it being in straight lines vertically, for example, on a map, I changed it to the horizontal, and then I went for an angle. And look, I think it's a good thing to do is to move it so that you get a different cut every time, which I think has worked really well for me.
And to be clear too, it's called Goat.
Goat.
Because goat is normally greatest of all time.
Yeah.
It was a very innocent choice of name because a goat eats grass.
That's right.
Yeah.
We called ours Garry the Goat.
Garry the Goat. All right. That's lovely.
Amanda was very upset with that because my mum's partner's name is Garry, and I'm like, Gary's not coming round.
Garry.
I mean, he's not. If he comes round at some point, I'm not going to say, let's go and turn Garry on. He's not going to think what's going on. Jesus,
Turn Garry on.
You know, it's Garry the Goat.
What sort of household is this?
You got to have rhyming and you got to have.
You need to have the alliteration.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
G and G.
I thought
Garry
that worked well. Yeah.
How about something the mower? Mower.
Well, I had Edward the Scissorhands.
Edward Scissor.
Now the new
not
Ecovacs X2 robot vacuum we call Simon.
Simon.
Because it's square.
Simon the Square.
Square Simon.
Okay.
You know.
That's pretty good.
We've had others.
Yeah. I name mine after my dad. It's Albert.
That's awesome.
Albert. Yeah.
That is so
That's
good.
Albert's Goat.
Is he okay with that though?
He's fine.
He doesn't
I
mind
showed him the
having
video.
a lawnmower named after him.
Not at all. Well, it's his. If you name it, it's his. It says Albert's Goat. It's not Albert the Goat. It's Albert's.
No, you've got to give it an actual name.
No, it's Albert's Goat with an apostrophe S.
No, you should.
Yeah.
You've got to give it an actual name.
No, I called it Albert's Goat. Yeah. Just like on your phone, it says Stephen's iPhone or Trevor's iPhone. You know, it's Albert's Goat.
No, you've got to actually name your
Well,
product,
I did it.
mate.
I did it.
You've got to make it part of the family.
I gave him ownership of it. Ownership.
I don't like
apostrophe S.
Anyway,
let's talk about the price though.
Yeah,
it's
$3,000.
It's not cheap, okay? And I reason, and if you watch my video, read my review, my reasoning is that your time's valuable. I know my time's valuable.
Yeah, it is a 360 camera too.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind mowing a lawn. In fact, when I did my review, their grass was a bit higher than 6 centimetres, so I had to mow it.
Yep.
And then sort of so that it would keep it at that level after I
Yes.
finished. In terms of the price, it gives you your time back, number one.
Yeah.
And a lot of people also employ a gardener. They get someone around to mow the lawn.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that costs. And if you add it up over a year, it's probably not going to be 3,000, but over 3 years, it might be 3,000.
Yeah, it might be.
So
I don't think you should. I don't think you should come into something like this trying to justify the price.
yeah.
If you can afford a
If it's
$3,000
convenient,
robot
yeah,
mower,
if it's convenient
then
for you,
this is the go.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
is it better than one that's $1,500? Yes, I can tell you
Oh,
that
for
right
sure,
away
yeah,
because
it's got
just
great
simply the
features.
setup is so
Yep.
good.
Yep.
It is a big unit. Like
Yeah,
it's twice the
solid-
size of Edward.
Solid box. The box was like,
I know. We
you
just
see
had,
it on my video, it was like
we just
this.
had council cleanup. Thank God to get rid of it. And I put the box out. Council
Yeah.
cleanup. And I respect people going looking for little bargains and things in the
Yeah.
council cleanup. But
Did
like going
people
through
just took
going
everything out
through
of
the
it?
box, I'm thinking, mate, do you think I left a robot mower out there? Really? I
You know
put an
what,
Oculus box out from the Quest 1 or the black one that we've got.
People were
Just
torn
put it-
apart.
and they opened it up. I'm like, do you think I put a VR headset out there?
You never know, mate.
I guess it is
You
my
never
house.
know.
What would you-
I've still got the box. We use it to keep the dogs from going upstairs. So we put it at the bottom of the staircase, and so the dogs don't
You
go
know, you
upstairs.
could just cut a bit of the cardboard off and make it like a little
No,
gate.
no.
Why don't you get a baby gate again?
No, thanks. Again,
We
I've
would have
ne-
had one when you had kids.
well, I didn't have a 2-story house when I had
Oh, bloody da!
yeah, I've
Doing
got
very well
I've
now.
got a 2-story house now, but
we always had baby goats.
there you go. Baby gate.
Yeah.
Okay. I know what you mean.
It's not like a controversy. It's a
yeah,
gate for
baby
babies.
gate. I was just thinking, what's your baby ever done? Baby gate? What the hell?
I just don't understand why you're
Woodgate.
putting boxes at the stairs for the dogs.
Mate, there's been various things. And you know what? Ziggy, the bugger, he's clever enough to he gets up there, shifts the box like that far to get
Of course
upstairs.
he does.
Mate, he's very, very, very smart little dog.
Why wouldn't
Not
he?
little, he's a big dog.
Why wouldn't he?
Well,
That's why you need a
yeah.
baby gate.
Because I remember I was home. Where was I yesterday? I was home by myself yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm working away, and I'm hearing dum, dum, upstairs. I think, who the hell's here? And then I was looking. I think, he's moved the box around. He's just stomping around upstairs. And I went, Ziggy, come on! And then he came back down again. Very sheepishly sort of walked past me and said,
That
"Come
is
on, mate."
my favourite thing. I don't like dogs, but that's my favourite thing about your dogs is they put their head down when they know they've had their
They've been
bit.
naughty. Yeah,
They come
they're
into the
naughty.
into the theatre, say good day, and then you're like, come on out, and you're like, okay, Dad, sorry, I'll get out now.
They're good voices you put on for them. That's great.
Do they both have different voices?
They do, yeah, I think so.
You think Ziggy's the okay, Dad, let's get out now.
Ziggy's sort of more
Zaggy's
the
more
sort
of oh come on,
yeah,
mate.
Ziggy's more the young upstart.
Yeah,
and Ziggy's more the dad.
Zaggy's more of oh come on, Dad, let me stay.
That's him, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and Ziggy
Send some
more
videos of your dogs. I'll do voices.
voices for him. All right,
I'll be like Aussie man for your dogs.
Aussie man. Fair enough. I reckon there's something there.
All right, details of the Ecovacs Goat G1 at techguide.com.au and EFTM.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
No wiggles moving.
Do you want to just do this one?
No,
Come on,
I'll
do
leave
it. Do it.
I'll leave that up to you. There's our social clip right there.
Well, we both probably weren't looking at the camera, but anyway.
Let's talk. We were talking hybrid earlier.
Yep.
And
Not hybrid cars.
It would be remiss of us not to talk about hybrid working without mentioning this Aussie company, Espresso, and they've just released, and we were lucky enough, Trevor and I got an earlier look than Trevor did, at the new product.
I didn't have time.
This new Espresso 17 Pro, and you look back at their other products, they start off with a 13-inch, and then they had a 15 and a 13. They always had a 15-inch full HD screens, and the next Gen 2 still have full HD, and I'm thinking, come on, boys, 4K, let's go. And boom, the Espresso Pro 17 Pro, which is 4K. It's got decent brightness too. 450 nits of brightness, more than 1 billion colours it can display, but still that portable display. So it's still got those two USB-C ports. And great accessories. How smart are the accessories? So you've got a stand that is great, but there's this battery you can now put under the stand to make it higher.
Hang on. The stand is also great because it goes down to 18 degrees, which is drawing angle. So it can be the full stand or it can be a desk stand.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. But
Smart.
the underneath the stand can be the battery.
So the battery is the exact same shape as the base, and you plop it on top of that, and it fits perfectly.
Plop it.
There's a little USB-C port, so you can actually power. You can charge your phone or a tablet, or you can actually connect it to supply power to the monitor. Because say if you've connected, what do you need? You need power. If you've got a camera connected to it, you probably need to power it as well.
Yes,
because a computer gives out power.
And if you've got your MacBooks, let's say, powering the Espresso display, there's a second USB port because you won't get full brightness. It needs more power, so you use the battery to get full power.
Pump it in there.
It gives you full brightness.
Yeah,
but there's it's an unbelievable looking product, and this is next level. It is $1,500 to be clear.
Yeah,
but there's a thing they've done that I'm most interested in mucking around with is this new app called Jot.
Yes.
So basically, you could have it like you'd have your laptop in front of you, have the Espresso here, and we might be working on a document in the cloud, just on not some special app, just Google Docs, and you could bring up the pen like a Samsung Galaxy Note like style pen, press the thing, and then press on Jot, and you could then draw, and then go OK, and it'll insert your drawing into the document you were working on.
So what's
very smart?
What's impressive about that? It works seamlessly with all the applications. But for a Mac user, one thing they don't have is a touchscreen. Like if you're a MacBook user or an iMac user, there's no touchscreen interactivity.
No, that's right.
So they want you to buy an iPad.
Yeah.
So if you're a MacBook user, then suddenly you've got touchscreen capabilities on that application.
Yeah.
On a Mac.
Yeah.
Which is that's a breakthrough for like a creative type. So say an artist or even someone like when I first saw this, I was thinking, mate, the possibilities of this are amazing. Imagine, say, a videographer using it as a monitor.
Yeah, well,
seeing precisely what they're seeing on the screen.
Here's where it's just 100% getting use. We go to CS. We set up a little office downstairs. Yeah. We've got a laptop. We've got to edit the videos. Mate, you've set that up as your reference monitor, and it becomes, because when you video edit, you often want to have the timeline bigger, and you can have that as your reference. Yeah. And it's because it's 4K, 10-bit color. Yeah. Like it's a great representation of what you're working on. Yeah. So, for me, it's a pretty exciting improvement. It's a pretty big addition to their range.
They've also got the screen cover, it's like a protector.
Yep.
But it actually gives it the texture of paper. You know that is it paper-like that you put on an iPad and make it so you know how paper's not smooth, it's rough.
Yeah,
it gives it the same texture as that, so an artist can feel the same have the same look and the same feel as well. But Jot was impressive too. I really impressed with Jot.
Very cool.
But what's the start at just the screen itself's $1,500.
$1,500, but if you get into the pre-orders,
there's some good bundles.
Yeah, for $1,500 you get the stand with it. You get one thing with it.
You get the for $19.25 you get the Espresso screen, the charge, the stand, the pen, the case, and Creator. What's Creator 17? Is that the pen? No, that says pen here.
I don't know.
Creator 17, is that a bit of software? Might be.
Must be.
Yeah.
I think Creator 17 is the software they've created, which is the Jot thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
but let's be real, right?
Yeah.
Aussie company.
Exactly
yeah,
right.
they got a manufacturer in China because who doesn't? But this is a bunch of Aussies designing, engineering, iterating a product that is getting better every time and has huge market in the US.
They have, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, big.
Huge.
Time. They were telling me about some of their customers, and from big companies, some of their customers.
Yes, that's right.
But my claim to fame is I was one of the first people to write about them. I was one of the first to see their display, and Scott McKeon, one of the co-founders, came to my house and dropped it off the first screen. He goes, "Oh, this is it," and we talked about it on TGB, and I wrote about it on Tech Guide, and my quotes were on their website, and then everyone else discovered them as well. But
that's your claim
supporting
to fame.
was one of my claims to fame, that I recognised the talent early and the product early, and then you eventually got in on it, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, I've
got a 15. I've got two 15-inch espressos.
Right.
I use one as a monitor. So see how you got that monitor connected to the ISO, the A10 Mini. I've got one connected like that upstairs.
Yep.
And I use my other one for my astrophotography.
Yes.
So when I'm doing my polar alignment, like my Astro shit, I've got
Sounds
my
like
computer.
something you go to a chiropractor for.
When I'm in my Astro shit, I've got my computer there, and what I do is I connect I've got on the door, I've got the magnetic stand. So I actually put the screen on the door, connect the computer as a second monitor, and open the door. So when I'm adjusting the stand, I can actually see the adjustments on the door. Yeah. So
in his Astro shed, folks.
In my Astro shed.
Doing very well.
Yeah, my Astro shed.
Yeah. How many people you reckon have an Astro shed that are listening to this right now?
None.
Like how unrelatable are you right now?
Zero. Yeah, but there's going to be.
I've got a shed under the stairs.
I'm going to be sharing a bit more content about my Astro stuff. I think there's a lot of people that are fascinated by it. They don't know anything about it, and that's going to be a good way to explain how I do stuff with it.
Oh,
how
man,
it works.
how
does it work?
I didn't send you the Astro photos from Walker, did I?
No, I saw them that you shared them.
I did share them
dark sky.
on the gram.
Whenever you do the road trip, I'll take the scope with me and I'll get some solid images out there, mate. Because I need to find like an open. I need to find it open because where I shoot, I'm in the backyard, right? So there's a tree there, there's a house there, so. My range, I can still see a lot of the sky, but there's some sort of lower objects that sort of they rise, but they don't sort of go high enough for me. So there's like a few galaxies and nebula that they only rise to sort of they don't clear my house or my neighbour's house.
Don't we rotate enough for them to be there at some point?
No, we don't. We don't because I don't know. That's just our.
Oh, because we rotate this way.
Yeah, so
they're
celestially, like the southern sky is different to the northern sky, and in the northern sky things are in a different position, and sometimes we don't see. We've got stuff in the southern sky that they don't see in the northern sky, and vice versa. Correct, but a lot of other stuff. So it'd be great to get a full clearance flat. So I can shoot at not far above the horizon. That's the problem. Like my issue is it's got to be sort of pretty much sort of at the zenith is right above your head. It's sort of got to be in that area there. Yeah. Just the struggles of an astrophotographer. What can I tell you? Is that the nerdiest thing I've just ever said or what? Good on you, mate. Thanks for your support.
Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
I just doing stupid things.
Random actions now.
We do it all thanks to the great people at Netgear, netgear.com.au. And if you're looking for home Wi-Fi, Orbi is where it's at. I expressed a long story in the EFGM podcast about my connectivity woes at home.
And how have got connectivity woes?
How we just were constantly having this issue. We just assumed it was the NBN. And then at one point I went, oh my God, is there a problem with the Orbi? And so I dug into the Orbi and it gave me all this information in the log about denial of service attacks. And I was like, this is what the problem is. So deep in the logs, I was getting all the information I needed to speak to Aussie Broadband to sort the problem. And my God, it's been a game changer.
So you had a denial.
I was under attack,
your
ladies
home
and gentlemen.
Was.
Under attack.
Your network was.
I was like the census.
Was someone
under attack?
Was someone out the front of your house with a laptop? What were they doing?
No. It was a coordinated attack by the Russians. I don't know where they were from. But anyway, the good news is...
So what was happening? You just couldn't connect to anything?
No, what was happening, it was just overwhelming the network, and so there was a reset happening on the network. Ooh. So anyway, it's not happening anyming
Do what I do, mate. Have about 8 networks.
No, this is just on the internet.
So the one coming into your house was,
mate.
Oh, wow.
It was, she was getting some...
So how's that your Orbi's fault then?
No, it wasn't. The Orbi helped me understand what was happening so that I could give that feedback to Aussie Broadband.
They logged
we decided in the end that I should get rid of my static IP, or at least change my IP address, Because I've had the same IP address for 4 years.
I could have told you that.
131873.
That's what I would have done.
When are you on?
That's what I would
Sunday
have done.
mornings, 8 o'clock?
Sunday
No,
mornings.
that's someone else.
Sunday morning, yeah. Don't be an idiot. Sunday morning at 10:30 and Monday night at 9:20.
And I'll be on Sunday afternoons at 1:30 every fortnight now
Is
with
that
Murray
right?
Wilton. Yeah, with the
Yeah,
two Murrays.
The two Murrays, yeah. There's
Yeah.
just not enough tech on 2GB.
Nah, not enough tech on
not
2GB.
enough. There's
is
about
there?
18 of us on there, yeah. So, what another log on the fire.
Oh, I couldn't say no to Murray. He asked me. I thought, why not? I might as well. Anyway, Netgear has all the solutions you need for your Wi-Fi, including the Orbi, and the satellites throughout your home mean you're getting full speed everywhere. I get lots of megabits in my bedroom.
Lots. Just in your bedroom?
Just lying in bed the other night, I did a speed test, and I'm like, whoa, flying. There was no one else
That's
home.
the quote of the show. I get a lot of megabits in my bedroom. That's a cracker.
Thanks for saying it clearly, too.
Boom.
Anyway, you can find out more details about Netgear's wide and vast range of products for you and your home network at netgear.com.au.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know. This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
You've shut up shop already? We haven't finished yet.
Mate, it's all up here.
There's still more to go.
It's all up here.
Okay.
My woes, my concerns, Stephen,
Yes.
is there are strong rumours that Samsung is once again changing things up with their scheduling.
Yeah.
I live and die by my schedule, and so does my wife.
Yeah.
Apple happens here,
Me too.
Samsung
Me
happens
too.
here, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Remember, Samsung used to launch their flagship phones at Mobile World Congress, end of February.
So end of Feb, yeah.
Then they went, let's go a week or so before. Let's do ours. And then they went a few weeks before that. And last year they were like third week of January or something.
It was
"Jeez."
right. It was late January, early.
It was
February.
at the very end
of January. Yeah.
And now there's rumours they're going to drop the Samsung Galaxy S series around the 18th of January.
Right on the back
Now
of
CES ends on the 12th.
The 12th, yeah.
It's the 18th the rumour or 16th? No, it's the 12th.
18th is the rumour. Yeah,
Right.
18th.
Now, mate.
Yeah, like you've booked your flights already, haven't you? I've got myself coming back into Australia on the 15th.
Yeah, landing on the 15th.
You too?
Yeah.
And so if this is right, we're going to have to get on a plane that afternoon and get out again, or the next day, or what? Or stay there, or not go.
I'm not going to go.
Right.
I don't see how it's
But
possible.
that's if it's real, though. If it's true,
Mate,
there's solid rumours, but it is
solid rumours.
Those rumours are rarely wrong, eh?
They're
Those
rare.
really strong
Like
rumours.
there's some good people to rely on, and there's also good people who would fact. Basically, if this was a wrong rumor, if this rumor was incorrect,
Yeah,
there's people out there who would go, listen, that's not it.
yeah. Because you got to remember. Like, so what's it now? It's October. That'd be in the diary already, wouldn't it? For January,
Yeah.
surely be planned.
Yeah.
So
Whether it's New York or San Francisco, I think
Yeah.
San Francisco, but I think the issues with San Francisco as a city might mean it's not probably the best place to have an event at all now.
why is that? Why?
It's
Just everything's
a
closing
dump.
down, and yeah.
The place is
Maybe they'll
literally
have it
off
in-
the rails.
Or suppose imagine if they had it in Palo Alto or something like that, like somewhere in Silicon Valley they have it.
No, I think.
Maybe imagine if they had it in Cupertino, up
I
the road
mean-
from a little place called Apple Park.
But maybe do what Apple did that time and go to Chicago. Just go somewhere different.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm all for New
do it
York.
in LA for crying
Let's
out
go
loud.
to New
You know,
York again.
think of the venues in LA you
Oh,
can have
yeah,
events at, right?
Maybe they can have it at what's that big stadium? The new stadium they're called.
SoFi.
Yeah, they have it there.
It's a very big venue.
I'll give him a clue. Right, delay it till early February. Super Bowl. Make it Super Bowl week and take us to the Super Bowl.
Okay, well,
You don't
that would be okay. But here's my thing, and this is very egotistically personal.
Yeah,
But there's no way I can go to that.
Yeah.
I can't get back from CS on the 15th
yeah.
and then leave again. That same day it would have to be to get in on the 15th and be ready for an event on the 18th.
Yeah. And there's no way
Like
you'll stay.
it's school holidays,
You wouldn't stay longer.
mate. You can imagine. Hey,
'Cause you-
hey, hey, Amanda. Hey, gone, babe. Love you heaps. Love you heaps. You know how I'm leaving for Vegas on the 3rd of January. How would you feel about me coming home on the 21st?
Of January.
She'd be like, boop, boop,
Silence on the other end.
boop,
Really?
boop. And next time I go to open the front door, it'd be like, it'd be
Yeah.
changed locks.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. And the beep beep is her backing in the
That's
truck.
her hanging up the phone.
So
Remember when
you
phones
backing
used to
in-
do that?
Yeah, I know. Backing in the truck to get your stuff out, or
I just live here. It's fine. It's enough for you to
Yeah.
get me through.
so. But yeah, it's a real. Look,
Mate, it's
and you got to remember, right? We're not the Lone Rangers going to CES. Every
No.
tech journo worth their salt is in Vegas.
Yes, but it's the thing
Yeah.
for Samsung is, in America, it's normal time. In
Yeah.
Australia, it's summer. The normal shows are off. There's not as much content going out. It's just
Yeah.
it's a bit of a lazy time. It's school holidays.
Yeah.
Now, there's a bunch of people who would happily go back straight away or stay. Like you. You can do that. Joe's not going to say, Stephen, don't you dare.
Yeah.
Your kids are not going to go, Daddy, where are you? My kids are going to be, Dad, what are you doing?
My kids say, have you been away?
Yeah. Right? So
Yeah.
mate, it's a challenge. And
Yeah.
I know it won't be a problem for the Americans because they'll just go to another event.
Yes.
Americans go to CS for 2 days and they're in and out, right?
No, it's like us going to Melbourne.
That's right.
Yeah. Or Brisbane.
So it won't be a problem for them. But then think about the Korean, Vietnam, Taiwan, Philippines, all these other journos that go to CES.
Australian, yeah.
Are they
All of them.
going to go back
Yeah.
for another event?
Well,
or
that's
are
a
they
real-
going to stay?
It's a look, unless
Because, mate, 18th is the date they're rumoured,
yes,
right?
that's-
18th?
Yeah.
That's 6 days after CS. That's a long time.
A long time.
Yeah, it is. That's a long time to just stay for something extra.
Yeah. Although, I think the last day is the 13th, isn't it?
No, it's the 12th.
12th. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We float on the 13th. Get back on the 15th.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
So
So,
imagine
yeah.
this.
So 18th is the 19th
event,
is
right?
in Australia. Yeah.
So that means inside baseball, you're going to have like your NDA session on the 16th.
Yeah.
There's 4 days.
Yeah.
1 day to get to wherever you've got to go,
Yeah.
and then 2 days
It's not-
to
it's
be
not-
to be wined and
For-
dined or something. Oh, mate, what, are you kidding me?
Personally, it's
Oh.
not worth me coming back.
No,
I've
of
got to
course.
stay there.
You love an
Yeah.
extra few nights in a hotel. You're a big fan.
Well,
Loves
you
it.
know how after CES I normally go have my little jaunt
Yes.
after I go to Galaxy's
'Cause
Edge
he's a
or
big baby.
Universal. Yeah, I'm not doing that this year.
Oh no.
You know, because Souths are playing in Vegas, and I'm going to Vegas for South. The Souths game. I've already booked my flights, the
Does
hotel
Jo know?
tickets. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's not going, but
You asked her though, and
of
you
course
went,
I asked her.
okay, and you were like, please don't go, please don't go.
No, I said, well, because this was, I booked this. Now, here's a bit of inside baseball for my family. We just booked our tickets to Europe.
Yeah.
All right. So, $12,000 later, I'm thinking, I'm going to try book these on my points.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough to take you. Unless I put in another 10,000 to get you over there.
Yeah.
And she's, look, I probably can't make it anyway because, she's a teacher. She'll only be back at school like 2.5, 3 weeks, and she's out again.
Don't
and I'm
take your
thinking,
mother. She loves
yeah.
Souths.
I would. That's is actually a serious consideration. Yeah, thinking
Mate,
of doing
imagine
that.
that.
Yeah,
She
would love
go
it.
wild.
Yeah.
I'm not wild as in Vegas.
Yeah, it'll be. Imagine Vegas with your mum.
Woo! Your mum's name Doris? Is that
Doris,
right?
yeah,
Imagine
Doris.
Doris.
Doris, mate, you'd be loving
Doris going wild on the strip in
it.
Vegas.
Vegas. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of Vegas,
Yes.
have you seen this? I've seen a lot of TikToks
The controversy.
about what it looks like now. They've changed
Yeah.
everything
I
for
feel
the
like that's
bloody
a-
Formula One.
We'll talk about that tomorrow night on the private feed.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We're getting up in time, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Extra value there.
Yeah, extra value
Wow.
and a tease.
Wow.
So we've got 4 things to talk about now on the private feed.
4 things.
EVs,
Yeah. I've forgotten already.
Seinfeld,
Yeah.
the thing you
Elon
had,
Musk. I'm reading.
Elon Musk,
book.
and Formula One.
Formula One. Wow. It's going to be an hour-long private this week. Hour-long.
We just knock a couple out and
Boom. Yeah. Just stack them
inside
up.
baseball. All right, Stephen.
Stack them, pack them, and rack them.
All the details of everything we've talked about at EFTM.com, techguide.com.au, and of course you can follow us on the Instas and the threads.
Don't follow him on X.
Don't.
Don't try to
Unfollow me.
Don't intimidate him. Don't intimidate him on
No.
TikTok.
Hit me
okay?
up with your best intimidation and just learn how mature
No.
and how new and how learned I am.
Don't poke the bear.
But I will report you.
That goes 2 ways, that street, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's why you got banned, because they reported you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
They reported
you
my
asked for
comments.
that. You asked for that.
I did. I asked for
Yeah,
that.
you fell into their trap.
Yep, 100%.
Boom.
But it still felt good. See you next week.
Good on you, mate.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.